Now grow a whole collection of fun with Chia teddy bears.
The Snuggie keeps you totally warm and gives you the freedom to use your hands. So now you can work the remote or read a book in total warmth and comfort.
Like I've been saying, some people are born with great legs, but the rest of us have to work at it. Thank goodness there's Thigh Master.
No matter how corny, we have all indulged in the infomercial. This trusted marketing tool has catapulted these bizarre products into our local drugstore and pop culture. The infomercial is a television program that promotes a product in an informative and supposedly objective way. Companies invest in these expensive and long-form commercials with the intention to make a profit. The nonprofit provides services and resources with the objective to make social impact. What's there to learn from the infomercial? How could the nonprofit advertise and generate funds for programming, services, and general operations? For many years, the nonprofit looked to government agencies, foundations, and individuals to financially sustain operation and programming expenses. The nonprofit community has a new buzzword, sustainability. The 21st century nonprofit seeks financial viability and mission impact. The for-profit startup and the nonprofit both begin with an idea.
The Ginsu can cut a slice of bread so thin you can almost see through it.
Just plug it in. Turns things on, turns things off, just by clapping. The Clapper Plus works from anywhere, even through windows and walls.
Clap on!
Or switch on. The Clapper and the Clapper Plus.
Watch how OxyClean unleashes the power of oxygen, making tough stains disappear like magic without fading or bleeding the colors.
Infomercials are successful because consumers are able to learn about the product and see how the product works. The startup nonprofit could learn a lot from the for-profit. What's the nonprofit's equivalent of the infomercial? How can a startup nonprofit demonstrate value and impact and build a case for funding? In this episode, we're taking an awesome idea and proving its potential. Welcome to the Nonprofit Startup Podcast. Shortly after obtaining our 501c3 status, we started applying for grants. The rejection email signaled that we needed to revisit our mission and rethink our approach for funding. Realizing an idea just isn't enough to convince foundations to support what we think are great ideas for programming. In film school, we were taught show, don't tell. We needed a way to demonstrate the value of our idea and our desire for social impact. We needed a proof of concept. A proof of concept is the demonstration of an idea and the documented evidence of its potential success. That's why we buy things that have the as seen on TV logo. Despite being in the startup phase, the proof of concept is a useful tool to demonstrate to a target community and potential donors our ability to develop impactful programming. We all know the infomercial works, but let's break down why it works. In this episode, let's take a look at the 4 phases of an effective proof of concept strategy.
Introducing Spaghetti, the
fast and easy way to make mouth-watering
zucchini and squash pasta in seconds. It's tasty, healthy, and won't weigh you down. Watch.
I can admit it, I actually own a spaghetti.
In just seconds.
Steve Harvey was onto something with his 2009 book, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady. Nerdy media is thinking like a for-profit, but acting like a nonprofit. Because there's a lot to learn from the infomercial, in this episode, I'm going to compare the Spaghetti's proof of concept infomercial to our proof of concept strategy for Nerdy Media's first program, a life and career skills workshop we titled Wearing the Crown. Okay, let's begin with phase 1. First, identify the objective of the concept and the visions for success
and the indicators for success.
Consider it like the mission
it's
statement
like our
for a
mission
concept.
statement.
You tired of fussing with giant pasta pots, strainers, timers, stirring and testing just for a plate of pasta?
Want to keep warm when you're feeling chilled, but you don't want to raise your heating bill. Blankets are okay, but they can slip and slide.
Houseplants make your home look beautiful, but having to water them all the time can be a big job.
I absolutely love the "Has this ever happened to you?" scenes from the infomercial where basic tasks go horribly wrong. I've even searched YouTube to watch a compilation of these clips.
Houseplants make your home look beautiful, but having to water them all the time can be a big job.
Sometimes removing pans from the oven can be too hot to handle. Ouch! Or that dish can slip, causing a big mess.
Who puts pans in the oven? Anyway, these scenarios may seem ridiculous, but somehow they work. They are identifying the problem and why these products are the life-changing solutions for these common dilemmas. When we came up with the concept for Wearing the Crown, we intended to equip those entering the workforce with a 21st century perspective. Our indicator for success is when the workshop participants leave wearing a crown, owning their transferable skills, and ultimately realizing their potential for job stability. Phase 2 is all about the design. What's the plan? Outline your objective for the program, the marketing, the workflow, the intended outcome. Outline the entire contents of the program. Then build the content. This is where you make the product.
Watch. Just place any zucchini into the spaghetti and turn. In just seconds, you've got mounds of zucchini pasta with a delicious taste and perfect texture. The secret is the 12 ultra-sharp stainless steel blades on each side that effortlessly slice through the zucchini for endless pasta strips.
When cheaply made products require their own 30-minute commercials, it's the features that are described throughout this commercial. And this is where we consider how we can use it or how it can fit in our lives. In this phase, we thoughtfully design experimental content that explores transferable skills, career paths, and how they link to financial literacy. Content was only half of our design work. Dave designed beautiful resources for the workshop that aligns with our brand identity. In phase 3, we execute, meaning facilitate the project.
Make a pad thai noodle stir fry. Make quick and easy zucchini salads. But that's not all. Spaghetti carrots to add some crunch to lunch. Spaghetti potatoes for hash browns and potato pancakes. And make unforgettable garnishes in seconds. The ergonomic
Seeing the product solve the issue, the next thing you want to know is how much.
Complete with gourmet recipe guide for just $19.99. But wait, call right now.
Because at that point, we could really use a spaghetti, right?
Bonus. You'll also get our super slicer free.
If the price is right, we're sold. For Nerdy Media, we wanted to illustrate the impact of wearing the crown and why organizations should invite us to facilitate the workshop. The workshop is more of a hangout session where we authentically engage with young people that face so much adversity. You can literally see the aha moment when they identify and claim their personal strengths, then explore modern approaches to job stability. Wearing the Crown instills and realizes the author James Baldwin's quote, "Your crown has already been bought and paid for. All you must do is put it on." As a symbolic gesture of empowerment, when our youth affirm by writing their personal strengths inside of the crown and then crowning themselves, seeing Chicago's Black youth wearing crowns is a powerful visual, illustrating the impact of our workshop. We are currently reaching out to bring Wearing the Crown to organizations in need of a proactive approach to employment development. In the fourth and final phase of the proof of concept strategy, we evaluate. This is where we ask ourselves, how do you know if this program or product is successful? You ask.
Check this out. The students participating in the NutriBullet University program increased their daily breakfast consumption during the week by 25%. That sounds like the kids are ready to
Maybe
learn.
we learned about the popular high-speed blender we all call the NutriBullet from its infomercial, or maybe from a friend's recommendation. This company evaluated and actively promotes the product's success. Audiences are savvier than ever. With easier access to information, the infomercial just isn't enough anymore. When we consider buying a product or service, we seek out reviews. We want to see the numbers. According to Amazon, the Veggetti is rated 3.5 out of 5 stars, with over 3,000 customer reviews, and 48% of these reviews were 5-star ratings. In an effort to evaluate wearing the crown, we invited my 18 and 21-year-old cousins along with 2 of their friends to our shared workspace to test wearing the crown. Then, over pizza, we got their feedback on what they liked and what they thought was lame. This focus group session helped us to refine areas of the workshop's content. The NutriBullet and Veggetti were ideas that were marketed with the intention to create a demand for the product and make a profit. When you Google NutriBullet, the first results read, "See why over 16 million people use the NutriBullet to make smoothies." The for-profit's bottom line, or indicator of success, are numbers-driven. For the nonprofit, our bottom line is impact. But how do you evaluate social impact? This podcast is intended to document our process of taking an idea to action. Dave and I like to keep it 100. As a startup, we don't have all the answers. This is a platform for us to share our success and our setbacks as we figure out how to start a nonprofit. Wearing the Crown's proof of concept strategy is currently in the evaluation phase. As you know, Dave and I are creative people, so even the thought of the evaluation process was met with a lot of eye rolling. Data for us is the equivalent of Brussels sprouts or Sunday school when it comes to the proof of concept strategy. Here were some of my initial thoughts about the evaluation process. How do you even evaluate social impact? Which tools or resources do we even need? What are we even going to do with all this data we collect? Who's going to want to look at a spreadsheet with a bunch of numbers? And who the hell are we trying to impress anyway? While we got to prove our concept. Luckily, Dave and I really enjoy the challenge of reimagining the antiquated formality of data collection and making it a beautiful and useful resource. In the next episode of the Nonprofit Startup Podcast, I'll share with you how I overcame a dislike for impersonal data constructs. We're going to look at how we reimagined the personal connection to numbers and why data matters. I hope this episode was helpful in guiding your proof of concept strategy. To learn more about our proof of concept strategy for wearing the crown, visit our site, nerdymedia.org. Share with us your business or organization's proof of concept strategy success and setbacks. Thank you for listening and following our nonprofit startup journey. Also, thank you for subscribing to the Nonprofit Startup Podcast. See you next week.